Hello, my name is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a August TBR. This isn't everything I plan on reading in August. This is just what I know I want to read right now. My reading changes a lot throughout the month, so sometimes while I'm waiting for audiobooks from the library, I'll pick up something that wasn't originally on my TBR. It just happens. I just want to put a disclaimer out that I don't really know too much about all of these books. I do like to go into my books knowing as little as possible. If you were looking for synopses, I'm sorry, I will leave all of the Goodreads links in the description if that helps. So I have it divided up into sections, and the first section is books that I'm buddy reading this month. First book I'm buddy reading is with Deja's Book World. Emma is reading An Amber in Your Face, and that is In the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I've already started this book. I'm about halfway into it and I am loving it. This is the first time I'm annotating a book for fun and I'm really going hard. I have so many tabs in here and I've already gone through like one little sheet of tabs already. This book follows Linus, and he is a caseworker for the department in charge of magical youth. He goes to this orphanage to make sure everything's going okay. He starts falling in love with not only the children there, but their headmaster. It has the perfect mix between whimsicalness and realism, and I'm loving this book so much. The next books are books that I'm planning on reading with my friend Heidi. I don't know if we're going to get to all of these, but this is just what we decided we wanted to read together next. First book I'm buddy reading with Heidi is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. All I know about this book is Gothic house, spooky, horror. And the cover's beautiful. The next two books are books that we are probably going to get to, and that is Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sims. This book is a retelling of The Count of Monte Cristo, so I might read that before I read this, but we'll see if I have the time for that. The next book we're reading is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Morin. This book is about a witch and a witch hunter that have to get married. It takes place in France. And the sequel's coming out either the end of this month or early next month. So we're gonna read this together so we can also read the sequel together. The next section is graphic novels and manga. First one is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This is a manga and it follows a town that is afraid of spirals. And I don't really know much else about it. I read one of Junji Ito's books already and I really liked it, so I'm hoping that I like this one even more. The next two books are Volume 8 and Volume 9 of Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. These are from the point of view of a child of two different species that are at war with each other, and it follows them trying to live a normal life. And I really love these graphic novels a lot, but I will say they do have a lot of adult content, so if you are uncomfortable by that, steer clear of these. The next section is the books that I pulled out of my TBR jars. I do two TBR jars, one with books that I acquired last year and one with books that I acquired previous to them. So from the book that I acquired last year, that is Good Neighbor by Joanne Serling. I'm hoping that this is a thriller, even though Goodreads says that it isn't. So we'll see how I feel about this. All I know is that this book takes place in a suburban neighborhood and it follows multiple families. So we'll see. It's really short, so I don't think I'll have an issue getting through this if it isn't what I'm expecting. And the next book that I pulled is one of the oldest books on my TBR, and that is Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. This follows a girl who died and now she's going back through her life in reverse, I think. I've had this book since like 2012. I've had this book for a really long time. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting this off my TBR. The next section is adult books. First two I have already read. The first one being The Last American Vampire by Seth Grahame-Smith. This is a sequel to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and it follows Henry the vampire from that book. And I love this book so much. This book made me cry multiple times. The main character is such a good character. I don't want to say too much about this now, but I really loved this book. The next book is Dead to Her by Sarah Pinborough. This follows two women who are both the second wives to their husband, and somebody tries to kill one of their husbands. I don't want to say too much because I want to save that for my wrap up, but this book wasn't really what I was expecting it to be. The rest of these books I haven't read yet. The next book I want to read is I Am Malala. I have wanted to read this book since it was published. This is an autobiography of Malala's life. It follows her getting shot in the head by the Taliban on her way to school and how she stood up for her right to education. The next book I want to read is Shore Fall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in the Foundryside series. I don't know how many books there are going to be. First book follows a girl who lives in a city where items are enchanted with their jobs. So for example, there are wheels that are enchanted to always go the speed as if they're going downhill, and this girl finds a way to trick these items into doing what she wants them to do without casting the spells. I've been really looking forward to this book for a few months, and I finally got the audiobook from my library. I can't wait to dive in. The next book I want to read is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. In this book, every neighborhood in New York City becomes a person, and that's all I really know about this. I know there are a few book clubs that are reading this month. I will have to look into it to see if I can attend any of those live shows, but as of right now, I'm not reading this with any set book club. I really love this cover a lot. You can kind of see it if I tilt it right. There's a little tentacle coming out of the water. It's the same color as the background, so you can't really see it. The last adult book I want to read this month is The Chill by Scott Carson. All I know about this book is that it follows people that find a village that is underwater, and it's a horror. I saw Stephen King talking about it, so I pre-ordered it, and I'm really looking forward to getting to this. The next few books I want to read are all YA. The first one being Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Coraline is one of my favorite movies, so I am really looking forward to reading the book and seeing what the source material is. This book follows a girl who moved to a new house with her family, and she finds a door that leads to another world that is like hers, but somehow different. The next book I have already started, and that is Nixia by Scott Reingard. I'm about like 30% in. This is following a bunch of kids that are chosen to be part of a space program where they go to a new planet to mine this ore. So far this book's pretty good. It's exactly what I was expecting, but I did hear that these books get better as they go on, so that is exciting. The next book is another book that I've been meaning to read for a long time, and that is These Divided Shores by Sarah Rush. I read the first book of this last year in anticipation of getting to this book, and then I never read this book. So I reread the first book again, and I still haven't gotten to this book. This is a fantasy novel that has a lot to do with the sea. The main character is a healer, and I don't really remember much else about it. I'm really hoping that I can start this and kind of remember. If not, I might have to reread the first book again. And the last book for this video is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. I read Emergency Contact by her last month, and I absolutely loved it so much that I bought this book immediately after finishing that. All I know is that one of the characters is famous and the other is not, and so we'll see. I really have high expectations for this book. So that is all the books that I'm hoping to read in August. Wish me luck, because I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of this. Let me know down below what book you're really looking forward to in the month of August. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.